Hi, I'm the incredibly socially inadequate Patrick Siebert, and this is the biomechanically enhanced Brian Fiore, and we are Just Got Played, here recording live at Cloak and Blaster in Orlando, Florida. We just got done playing Twilight Struggle. Brian, can you tell us a little about the game?
Sure. Twilight Struggle, it's a two-player game. It takes place during the Cold War era. Obviously, the superpowers back then between the U.S. and Russia fighting proxy wars for control of the world. You can get Twilight Struggle from your local game store or local game club. I think it costs about $60 or less. And like the Berlin Mall there, I guess.
Right down to 1989.
Yes, 1945 to 1989, there were a bunch of events that took place. And what would you say was your favorite thing about the game?
My favorite thing about the game, I would say, it's the depth. Like, I really got involved in the game. I feel like no matter how many times I played it, it's going to be a different game. I feel like there's a lot to understand, a lot going on. I just feel like you can play it over and over again and keep revealing new things about it. And that's what I love about gaming. When you have a game like Magic the Gathering that keeps going, has deeper and deeper layers with every new person you play, this has that same element, but in a board game.
I think I would have to say my favorite thing was the edutainment factor with the game.
Edutainment.
Edutainment. So it's like mixing education and in an entertaining way. So edutainment. And I say that because you get to relearn all of your geography and the historical events. So both history and geography taking place. And, you know, I think it goes towards the old saying, if you don't learn your history, you're doomed to repeat it again. And unfortunately, you can see a lot of the same kind of things happening in today's world.
So, that's deep, Brian.
Well, thanks a lot.
But if you had to pick out one thing you didn't like, and I know you like the game, but if you had to pick out one thing you didn't like about the game, it would be...
I would have to say the learning curve. It did take quite a while to read through the rules or to watch how to play videos. It's definitely involved. It's a pretty deep game. And with that, the time factor, it says 180 minutes. We actually finished a little bit earlier than that. But I would say getting
And why did we finish earlier than that?
Well,
you gigantic donkey.
I creamed it.
Yeah, I lost again, which is not going to be any big surprise to anyone here. But the learning curve is tough, and I'm not sure that balance between the depth and the learning curve is ever going to be cured, right? I like the depth. You like you dislike the learning curve.
Right.
It's just one of those things that's a trade-off.
I think by the time, if you put in the time and get up to speed, probably I'm guessing about 3 to 4 games, maybe 5 games under your belt. And if both players have played it, and they both sit down to the table and they both got the experience and they know the rules, I think it would flow rather quickly.
I really disliked at first. I really disliked the graphic art. I felt like they could have done a lot more, that it could be more visually appealing. But as I started to play the game, I started to realize, wait, everything's got its reason, everything's got its place, and there may not be a lot of room for prettier art. In retrospect, they probably could have done a little bit more, but the game ergonomically is fantastic, even if it's not the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
I think so. Again, that's the Twilight Struggle, available at your local game store for around $60 or less, or your local game club.
Thank you for watching Just Got Played. So, if you could pick anybody in history to play this game with, who would it be?
I don't know. That's a tough one.
I would pick Mahatma Gandhi.
Mahatma Gandhi.
Well, I think that because he's a pacifist, I really could have an advantage, and I might actually be able to beat him in a game, which would be good for me. And plus, if he did beat me, I could just flip the board on him, and what's he going to do? He's like a pacifist. Like, is he going to punch me? I don't think so. Besides, he's like 4'2", like whatever, 110 pounds. I could easily knock his lights out. Put that little diaper up over his head.
And he defeated the British, didn't he?
Brian? What? You're ruining my dream.